Alright, what is going on, people of the internet, and welcome to a little bit of a series that I'm gonna call it a mini series, because I did that at the very beginning of the first Max Speed episode ever, and mini series. So yeah, a game at a glance, Forza Horizon 3. Let me just start this off by saying me and this game got off on the wrong foot. It took me 2 days for the goddamn payment to accept for this game. I had to buy Windows 10. I'd buy this game. I bought the Ultimate Edition because I have faith in Forza to make a good game, so they better not let me down here. In the end, it came out to being a total of like $300 that I spent on this game so I could actually run it. So, yeah, started on the wrong foot. Let's see whether or not Turn 10 messed it up. Did they make a good game? Or did they make some garbage No Man's Sky? Ugh. Let's get into it. Okay, to start this one off, Forza Horizon 3 has a lot of cars. A lot of cars. Not all of which you're going to be wanting to drive. I mean, you can't all be a Reliant Robin, but this game has 350 or something cars, and there's more on the way with DLC because that's how Turn 10 is going to make their money over the next year. Another big thing that was pretty new to Forza Horizon 3 was a feature that they call Groove Music. Now, it's, I believe, a subdivision of Microsoft where it's their own music streaming program. Kind of like how we have Xbox for Windows 10 now. It's kind of Microsoft's scheme to take over the technological world once again. But I actually really like the inquisition of Groove Music because I'm not really a big music listener myself. People think that's weird. But you could really tell they went the extra mile to make this game have soul. And not a lot of games have soul nowadays. I mean, that's one of the reasons why, even though I got off on such a wrong foot with Forza Horizon 3, I instantly forgave it. Is because the gaming genre right now, for racing games, is so washed up and garbage. Like, the best racing game to come out in like 5 years is honestly Grand Theft Auto 5. And that's only because racing is a subdivision of that game, because the crew is garbage. Need for Speed 2015 is garbage. And PC players have literally no racing games aside from that. Like, Assetto Corsa exists, it's fantastic, but it's a simulator. And you can't sit down and play that for 24 hours with any kind of sane mind without being bored. So let's talk about why Forza isn't boring. To start off, the map is really good. It's maybe a little bit small, but it's really good. I mean, there's like 4 big areas. There's the Yarra Valley, there's the Outback, Surfers Paradise, and then you got Byron Bay. And all of these are pretty different from each other. And it offers a pretty good amount of unique gameplay. You're not really feeling like races are as repetitive as you might originally think they would be. And it's all in all a pretty solid map. Maybe a tad bit small, but yeah, it's not really that big of a deal. Oh, and do keep in mind when I say that all racing games to come out in the past 5 years are garbage, I'm talking specifically about the ones on PC. I know the consoles have had Forzas in the past, and they've had Drive Club, and those are all well and good. But the PC genre of racing games is a dry riverbed, that, man. So also new to Horizon is these Horizon Edition cars, which you're seeing in the background here. This is my Camaro. I wanted. I like this car. It has a lot of character to it. It's a fun car to drive. It doesn't handle that well, but on the straight lines, it'll pretty much monster anything else in A-Class. So that's pretty neat. So, these Horizon Edition cars can be won in wheel spins, and wheel spins are pretty cool. In fact, I had an 8-year-old cousin here, and he was visiting, and I was playing Forza Horizon 3, and he was kind of interested to see what I was doing. So I showed him, and we found a lot of entertainment in actually going out and buying these wheel spins and seeing. So it really gave me an idea. You know, it might be really smart for these YouTubers who are making CSGO videos where they do like all these unboxings or these Overwatch unboxings to maybe move into this genre and maybe do some wheel spins for Oh, that was quick. Hypocrisy. But while we are on the topic of wheel spins, let's discuss these a little bit. I mean, you can either win big, win really big, or not. Oh my God, Horizon Edition 06. Come on. New one. Please. Stop. No. No. What? No. Oh no. But in all fairness, I've actually come up with a really good idea, you know, with all these CSGO YouTubers doing unboxings for Forza and the fact that we can get these unique cars from Wheelspins. I think it'd be a really cool idea if somebody were to set up a website for, you know, betting on these cars and trading these cars. So I'm proud to sponsor ForzaLotto.com, and I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. And shoot. Now, my account actually was banned rather unfairly with no reason, much like many other players, and we will get to that, but in the meantime, I think I'm just going to show you a little bit of Forza's perfect balance between realism and arcade, and you can see here I'm doing some upgrades on my Nissan 370Z, and you can go in later on after this and go through all the tuning sections for this car and fine-tune it exactly how you want the car to be. Now, that is actually a really good system. Every single thing that you do changes how the car drives and performs, which is a really good element of realism, but at the same time, driving in this game is very easy to pick up, and it's something that is not difficult at all, and it's very forgiving, which makes it a bit arcadey. So I think, in my opinion, Forza Horizon 3 best balances it among any racing game that you can play right now. Races are broken up into categories in Forza Horizon 3, so you can have a race that only includes rally cars, so like Subarus and Mitsubishis, or you could have Ferrari versus Lamborghini, and then you fit into a subcategory where the AI builds around your skill level, most specifically your car's skill level. So that is a pretty good system, and not all of them are perfect, but I think most of them are pretty well done. Also new to Forza Horizon 3 is the convoy system, so basically if you find wild drivatars kind of running around the map, you can honk at them, and you can have a maximum of 4 of them tethered to your car at any given time, and they'll kind of drive in the same direction as you, and you get skill bonuses, but they can crash into you, and then you lose your skill chain, so the risks kind of outweigh the rewards, so I mostly just use this feature for making these guys drop off of cliffs. Now that my 7-minute intro is finished, let's move on to the good that Forza and Turn 10 have brought to the racing community. You can be an experienced driver on Forza Horizon 3 and still find races to be challenging for you, thanks to a good difficulty setting, as well as if you're inexperienced, you'll still have an easy time against easier AI, and also thanks to an exceptional driving engine, races feel satisfying, fun, and exciting. Also new to the Forza franchise is the addition of wide body kits for certain cars. So certain cars that you maybe want to tune up or maybe revamp a little bit, you can actually change the body kit on them to be a wide body kit. So as you see in the background, this is a Lamborghini Aventador, and oh my god, it's got a wide body kit. Oh god, that's awesome. Now, I've said it once and I'll say it again, this game is absolutely gorgeous. It's got probably the most stunning visuals of nearly any game I've ever played. The sky in this game is actually the real Australian sky, recorded at 12K. It also really helps that this game has a full weather system as well as day and night racing, so it's really, really good. And that's one thing that Need for Speed 2015 really failed on. The fact is that that game only had nighttime. There was no daytime. It was a fantastic looking game. It was really, really, really pretty. But the problem with it is that you could only play at night. You could never really experience the visuals of that game because it was always dark out. This game, full day-night cycle, full weather cycle, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And it very rarely has frame rate drops on me anymore, thanks to the fact that it patched it out of it. Now, I understand that I'm repeating myself a little bit here, but this game has so many cars! I'm actually continuing this from the clip earlier, where I was scrolling through the car list. It's continuing right here. This is just the continuation of that same clip. I'm not even re-looping it. It has that many cars. For the first time in Forza franchise history, they've added co-op campaign, which is actually a huge addition to the series, and I was really glad that they delivered on it. What you're seeing in the background is not actually co-op campaign. It was drifting my 240SX, and then I kind of flipped it, and I wanted an excuse to show everybody that, because it was pretty cool. One thing I did actually forget to mention is that the cars in this game sound awesome. I'm going to shut up for 2 seconds and let you listen to this Ferrari F50. And a returning feature to Forza is actually the auction house, which I think hasn't been in the Forza franchise since maybe Forza 4. Now, I'd also love to show you some film from that, but unfortunately with my account getting banned for no reason, I can't do that. But it is a big addition. I'm really glad that they did happen to bring it back. Sadly though, we must move into the bad, and unfortunately, while this is such a amazing game and it is a really good racing game, there are some bad things about it. In the beginning of this game, I was experiencing a lot of frame rate drops. I do have a GTX 1080, but that wasn't stopping my game from dropping down to 30 or even 20 FPS sometimes. But they have fixed this up as the game has gone through its life cycle. They've patched it out quite a bit, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. Unfortunately, on consoles, it still runs at 30 FPS. This probably won't be a very big issue for a lot of people, but most of the other Forza Motorsport games in the franchise do run at 60. Another problem for Forza Horizon 3 is while the drivatars are more difficult, they do kind of cheat, and what I mean by that is you can see here that I take this corner as fast as I can in my Lamborghini Centenario, but the Pagani Huayra and the LaFerrari can take it far quicker than I ever can, and that's because the AI rely on a different physics engine and aren't affected by the same thing that the player is. As you can see here with the Reliant Robins, we're all driving in the exact same cars, but mine flips and turns over, whereas theirs can flip and take an exact perfect racing line. Another big issue that I've had with Forza Horizon 3 is that S2 races, which is the highest caliber of cars aside from X-Class, which you're also seeing in the background here, kind of feel a bit less satisfying and a bit too fast-paced. Like, the AI tends to cheat significantly more in these races, as well as the fact that they're not as fun as B-Class. Of course, that is personal opinion, but from my experience, I haven't enjoyed S2 races quite as much. The AI does tend to cheat significantly more in these races, and for the most part, you're either relying on all-wheel drive and traction control, or you just aren't bringing a car to this event. Another problem that I have with races is that some of them just feel a bit too short. You don't feel like you have equal opportunity to catch up to all the racers that are in front of you. You can, however, I will say that you can buy a perk or with your skill points that lets you start at the front of the race. However, some races still feel a bit too short. Some don't even last 2 minutes, in fact, and you don't really feel like you've had the opportunity to catch up to all the people in front of you, and that kind of works against Forza here. On top of everything else, the drivatars in this game are just kind of dumb. I mean, you can see here, I'm completely stationary on the runway here, waiting to launch my BMW M3 GTR. Most of them are coming around me, and then all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, I'm just kind of sitting here, and that's no problem. But then the Shelby Raptor shows up, and one thing that's kind of weird about these AI is you can see here he's pushing me, and they do this thing where they go full throttle and then they cut out, and that is a very quick process. So you can see here he's doing that. Now he's kind of stopped, but you'll see here once we come to a stop, his car dies. He tries to push into me, and his car just stops. And the AI in this game tend to do that quite a bit. If they crash into something and then all of a sudden they can't find it, they can push straight through it, what's going to happen is they're just going to give up and sit there for the remainder of eternity. This 370Z decides that he's going to go straight forward into the Raptor, but of course he can't push that, so he stops moving. There's an RS200 out in the background that just crashed into that Hennessy Venom, which is actually a stationary bucket list challenge. So as you can see here, all three of these AI have proceeded to murder themselves. Not particularly intelligent. Artificial intelligence. They've let that name down. The final problem that I have with Forza Horizon 3 is the way that Turn 10 treats their customers, because I did spend about $300 to get this game. And the fact that I did absolutely nothing and received a ban for 30 years is absolutely ridiculous. It is completely unfair, and Turn 10's policy states that under no circumstances can a ban be lifted. So I paid $300 to get this game, and now I did absolutely nothing wrong, much like many other people that I've gotten into contact with over Reddit, because I did submit a post to r/Forza, and people are being banned for 30 years for absolutely no reason, and Turn 10 will not repeal these bans under any circumstances, and that's treating your customers like criminals, and that's not okay. All in all, Forza Horizon 3 is a masterpiece, and I'm willing to say that it's the best racing game to come out since Need for Speed was good. That's Need for Speed Carbon, Need for Speed Most Wanted. It's the best racing game to come out since then. It's dragged down by issues that aren't its fault. Because the developers wanted Forza Horizon 3 to have a soul, I'm going to treat it as its own entity, and I'm going to acknowledge the fact that the problems in this game lie in things that are not its fault. It suffers from bad frame rate. It suffers from the way that Turn 10 treats its customers. and if anything, it suffers from bad AI. And these are all things that can be easily fixed, and I really, really do hope that the developers take the steps in fixing this. For right now, I'm going to give this game an 8 out of 10. It is fantastic, and without these issues, this game would be a 10 out of 10 for me. It is that good. I enjoyed playing it so much. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate you sticking with me on this longer video. I know it's not ARC, but I hope that didn't discourage you too much from watching it, and I really enjoyed making this video. It took, you know, nearly 24 hours to make this whole thing. You know, not straight editing, sleeping and eating in between, but I really enjoyed making this video, and that's not something I can say for too many of them anymore. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode of whatever we make. Peace!